A subject that has its fair share of opinions, that's for sure. Tampa's wastewater and what to do with it. Proposals are now on the table to retreat the wastewater, put it back into the system, providing yet another source for people who live in this area.
But environmental activists say this is not the answer. Our Vanessa Ariza is going in depth on the issue, hearing out both sides of the discussion and looking into what happens moving forward.
Do you fear that this will all just become ruined?
I fear that the fish and wildlife will go away, but I also fear more than that. I fear for the fish babies, but I fear that the children that are young today and the children that haven't been born yet will suffer.
Phil Compton has been on a water crusade, if you will, for more than 2 decades.
We just don't know enough right now to go forward.
For years, he and other environmental activists have been pushing for the city to move away from the pure proposal. This would retreat wastewater and repurpose it into our drinking water. Compton says that's just too dangerous.
There are hundreds of contaminants, pharmaceuticals, PFAS, forever chemicals, you name it. Everything that's in our sewage that would still be present potentially at some level. And there's no safety standard established by the federal or the state government.
There's an ick factor there that really throws people off, and we understand that.
Whit Reamer with the city of Tampa gets that the proposal doesn't come dressed up in a nice bow, but he does say experts continue to study how they can keep the wastewater clean and safe if indeed they move forward with this plan.
We, in fact, belong to a voluntary program set forth by the EPA called the Clean Water Partnership, where we report voluntarily on lots of contaminants that aren't even regulated right now.
That sounds great on the surface for Compton, but the question he has is how can you make sure the water is safe when the EPA hasn't even studied new contaminants to determine if they're viable to consume?
So we asked the city, can you wait until we have standards so you'll know if whatever you're doing is going to make it safe enough to drink? But they want to push on.
Reamer says that's because the city is up against the clock. He says state law put into place last year is forcing them to find alternative ways to eliminate wastewater into our area waterways. Compton says that can be solved with an extension. He's hoping with the press conference, attention will be drawn to the project and possibly another solution. Now, at the end of the day, city officials say this isn't the end-all be-all. In fact, Reamer says there are other options on the table that they're also looking at. On Thursday, he plans to go to City Council along with the team to ask for an extension to continue their studies. In Tampa, Vanessa Ariza, ABC Action News.